Hello everyone and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore Chapter 3 in Fitzgerald's Route. We are back for more. The last episode we left off on... let me try to remember. So we... God. I just know the fact that like we had a choice between either going back to the palace or coming along to Fitzgerald's manor so that to help him clean out his father's stuff and whatever, and just more stuff that he needs to like give back to like the knights of Caldera, because he's no longer a knight. But yeah, we had the choice to like go with him or to go back, because there was technically some like important people that were gonna come visit the palace, but like we didn't have to be there necessarily, but it's still good to like show face, that sort of situation. But anyways, regardless, we chose to go to Fitzgerald's manor, and then it started raining and storming and whatever, and so we were there. He like fixed us dinner and we like had tea and stuff, and then he was telling us, oh yeah, make yourself at home kind of thing. And then as he was going to get us tea, we found a picture of his mother on one of the mantles, I think. And we've never seen it before, because it's like, I guess we must have like gone to his place before, but like, yeah, we were noticing, we were like, that's something new. So we picked it up, and on the back of the photo, it was like a little message, and it was basically that his father wrote the message. And it was something very non out of character for his father, because we all know and remember him as someone who almost like hated his son Fitzgerald and was a very cold and unfeeling sort of guy. So to see like he wrote a really warm and like romantic message about like his wife, that's just like a sort of like a shock basically, because it just makes us wonder, like, okay, what happened for him to just turn out the way that he did. And then that's when Fritz came back, and he was like really startled by the fact that we found the picture, and he was trying to play it off, he was trying to play it cool, but it really did obviously bother him, because it got him to thinking like, oh, like it's like he's scared of turning into his father, because the way that his father eventually kind of like turned out the way that he was, he started being really distrustful of people, he started being a real pessimist, and like that sort of Debbie Downer, negative Nancy sort of mindset. And like that, like Fritz was sort of like kind of sympathizing with that. Like he was like, I get it, like people are just they always have ulterior motives, they can't truly be trusted, and you try to repay them with kindness, but then they just end up like throwing it back in your face, blah 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 kind of thing. And it kind of goes back to when we got kidnapped for a short while by those two ex-witches. So that kind of relates back to like his fears and his like his downward spiral of that. And we tried to like reassure him. We're like, no, you're not your father, you are better than this. Like there's always going to be good and bad people in this world kind of thing. And then there was a moment where we just had a moment of whimsy, where we decided to just go out into the rain, and then decided to start dancing in the rain, even though it was a downpour. And then we dragged Fritz into it, because he brought up a childhood memory of like how he said he liked rain. He really liked the rain, but he also remembered the fact that like whenever he went out to go play in the rain, he always gets scolded by his dad, because he didn't want him to catch a cold kind of thing. And so yeah, we kind of like relived that that little childish memory, that like moment of like whimsy, and that really kind of like let him like relax and forget about all the bad memories that had conjured up in that moment. And then we spent the night together, cuddling, sleeping only together platonically. PG, everything PG, not platonic, but like PG, everything was kept PG. And then yeah, we were escorted back to the palace. And I'm guessing this is the next day. So the next day, let's continue, and I don't know, I guess this is how this will transition, but yeah, we'll see. So chapter 3. The dining hall is lively this morning, filled with the voices of my chattering family. The 4 of them have been discussing some kind of upcoming ball, but my thoughts are elsewhere. Not that, no matter how hard I try, I cannot dispel the image of the rain running down Fritz's cheeks like tears, right? Yeah. Fritz was smiling by the end of the night, but his sadness still seems to linger. I have to find some way to help him overcome it. But how? Oh yeah, we also, by the next day, when we were back at the palace, we also asked him to help train us using the dagger that he gave us. And also, oh yeah, also in the midst of like him reliving his bad memories with his father and then his mother, we had like a sneaking suspicion that maybe like what caused his father to sort of spiral into that negativity was like his mother, like, you know, was trying to be a good person, like she was a very good person, but that just ended up like she ended up getting betrayed or something with somewhere, and then she ended up getting killed that way. So yeah, but anyways, regardless, we approached Fitzgerald and we were like, can you help us train to use this knife better? And he was like, I'd rather you not have to use the knife at all, but like we were argued that, you know, a little bit of basic training wouldn't hurt us, especially in case of just like an in case emergency sort of thing. So he agreed, he liked that. So yeah, Hana, yeah, oh, we're just like spacing out. Raz's voice is loud enough to break me from my reverie. I look up at him, startled. He just rolls his eyes before going back to his breakfast. The trick, is to say her name loudly enough to startle her out of her thoughts. Oh, I'll keep that in mind. I grumble as the 2 of them exchange a smile. You needed me for something? Yes. We wanted your opinion on a theme for the upcoming ball, dear. My opinion? I do not care what sort of theme it has. Emmeline and Ophelia are better at planning these elaborate affairs anyway. You at least need to give us your opinion on the finalized concepts. I wait for Ophelia to list the ideas. In the end, I consent to a mixed floral theme. Ophelia thinks it would be nice for the summer. Okay? It hardly matters. The noblemen and ladies will come regardless because it is a royal ball. Yeah. Later, when the conversation dwindles and the food is finished, the servants begin to clear breakfast from the table. Father reminds me of a council meeting later in the day before excusing himself. Ophelia is quick to follow, saying she needs to work on plans for the ball. Okay. I am left with Emmeline and Rod. So how is Sir Fitzgerald doing? Oh, fine, I think. As fine as he can, you think? Oh, he has been extraordinarily busy. I had thought his resigning would mean no obligations, but he still has many loose ends to tie up. Yes, that was the reason why we wanted to stay with him or to go with him to his manor instead of going back to the palace that night, because we had spent so little time with him, being busy as he is. I hope you can have breakfast with us again soon. Yeah, he's like, is something wrong? Yeah, why'd you give me that look? I was just thinking about the last time he had breakfast with us. Oh, yeah. For a few moments, the dining hall is quiet, save for the clatter of plates and utensils as the kitchen staff remove them from the table. Last time Fritz was here, he managed to accidentally impale the table with a fork and knock over a platter of fruit. He also nearly hit a man in the head with a spoon. Oh, why is he... Well, it's a fun memory to look back on. How did he manage to throw the spoon backwards at one of the servants? Girl, what is he doing? Is he juggling utensils? It slipped out of his hand? Or was it because it was back when he still had his curse and he was just trying to fight his other half, his inner demons? It is remarkable how Fritz can be so composed one moment and shockingly clumsy the next. I believe he said he was extremely tired that day, but oh, never mind. He was just really out of it. Emmeline laughs. Sir Fitzgerald is a wonder. He is. Ever since that incident, he has purposely avoided invitations to breakfast. I clear my throat. Well, I have some morning errands to run with Fritz, so I will excuse myself early. Emmeline and Rod both look at me quizzically. Errands? What? Personal errands. Tell father I will be back in time for the council meeting. The 3 of us exchange farewells before I headed out. Okay. Where are we going? What are we doing? Like, what errands? Oh, a little date? Maybe? Tee? And here we are. Okay. After leaving the dining hall, I went to the front gates to meet Fritz, who was there just after 10 as promised. He walked me to the edge of the forest, along with 3 of his most trusted guards. Okay. As soon as we reached the clearing, he told the guards to scatter. Oh, no, it's that training. Today is the day he teaches me how to defend myself, right? Is there a reason you brought other knights with us? To watch the perimeter, just in case. He is cautious as always. Yeah. He takes my hand and leads me over to a tree stump. Milady. Inserts fedora tilt here. He bows when I sit down. I smile at him. Lord Fitzgerald. I laugh when he blushes. So far, I do not think anyone other than the knights he used to train have used his new title. He coughs to clear his throat. I'll give you the rules of our exercise before we start. Rules? Yes, the goal is to keep me from touching you by any means necessary. The only thing you aren't allowed to use is the dagger. Okay. He glances at the small pocket of my dress. I never told him I had it in my pocket. How did he know? We'll have you use the dagger later, when you become more accustomed to its weight. But for now... He takes a step forward. Between one step and the next, a wolfish grin appears on his face. You are going to hide and run and do whatever it takes to get away from me. Because in this exercise, I'll be hunting you. Oh, okay, hunting. The look on his face reminds me of the smirk he was wearing in the forest yesterday. It is a smile that will always remind me of Varg. Yeah. Hana? Oh, he looks at me, concerned. Too much? No, I was just thinking about something. I stand from the tree stump with renewed resolve. I am ready. Alright, extreme hide and seek, let's go. Good. This is just a test run, so no pressure. Just do what you think is instinctively best, and we'll work on your lesson from there. I have not done something like this since I was a child, only back then, the running was nothing more than a game. I clench my hands into fists and nod. Alright, remember to stay in the forest, Hana. Okay. I take a few steps back, waiting for him to signal. Much to my surprise, Fritz only closes his eyes and crosses his arms. Okay, I'll give you a 10 seconds head start. Okay. He immediately begins counting down after that, and without another thought, I turn on my heels and run. I run as fast as my legs can take me, doing my best to weave through the forest bramble as quietly as I can. Eventually, the sound of counting stops. I hear Fritz take one step, then another, and then he is running into the forest after me. Oh my gosh, my anxiety. My anxiety would never. I would panic. My heartbeat picks up as he draws nearer. Even though it is Fritz, I cannot stop myself from shaking. Same, real. What should I do? Oh my god, continue running, hide, face him head on. Well, he said to either hide or to like run, because that's the goal, is to like make sure we're not caught. Oh my god. Hide? Hide me? Yeah, he did say, yeah, hide. I don't think we can outrun him. He has longer legs. I think we should hide. That's the objective, hide. Let's hide. Fritz is a faster runner, and I have no doubt he will catch me if I continue at this pace. Right, exactly. Our cardio sucks. We need to work on that. It might be more effective to hide from him. I quickly scatter the leaves in front of me and sweep them in the opposite direction with my foot, hoping that Fritz will assume I have gone the other way. Then I put my back to the nearest tree and hold my breath as he approaches. I do my best to still my breathing, even going so far as to bite down on my lip as I press myself into the tree and try to make myself small. It is only when Fritz disappears around the bend that I lose a breath, incredulous. It worked? I don't think so. He's trained too. That's the thing. He's trained. No sooner has the thought occurred to me than I suddenly hear a voice at my shoulder. Oh, boo. I jump away from the tree with an undignified yelp, then hurry to reach for something I can use as a weapon. I find a loose branch of one of the trees, snap it off, and hold it before me. Fritz immediately goes on the offensive, reaching out to grab me as I shrink away. I hold the branch up in front of me like a shield. Clever. He stalks just out of range, his footsteps quiet as he circles me. It almost feels like an animal toying with its prey. I don't appreciate that. I am so busy watching Fritz's movement that I do not notice when he suddenly pivots in my direction. Oh god. I take a step back, but come back to back with a tree trunk. I hold up my branch, but it is useless. Fritz grabs the branch with one hand and leans forward to plant a kiss on my forehead. Oh. Caught you. I sigh as I let the tree branch fall from my hand. What you did was wise. Oh, thank you. Yeah, see? I was right. I was correct. I was correct with my assumption. Using a branch as a shield? Fritz laughs. Well, yes, but I'm referring to the hiding. There is a reason I wanted to start off like this before moving on to defense. Evasion is important. It's best to avoid a fight if you can. You're pretty good at hiding. But you caught me. Well, because I heard you sigh. Oh, I jumped the gun. Still though, your instincts are good, Hana. Thanks. Anyway, now that the exercise is over, let's move on to defense, shall we? Okay. For the next hour, Fritz teaches me defensive stances. He shows me how to react in certain situations, including ones that are similar to my capture in the alleyway. Come to the end of the hour, he has taught me how to break out of someone's grip. The first method involves pulling back on someone's thumb, and the second involves pulling down on their forearm. I am about to ask him to demonstrate one of the holds when I stop, realizing the time. Ooh, I'm gonna be late. Fritz is one step ahead of me, yes. You have to be getting back now, don't you? Some meeting with the counselors? Yeah. I nod my head with a sigh. My attendance at these meetings is necessary, not only because I will be queen someday, but because Father insists I know the various counselors personally. I'll lead you back then. Okay, he offers his arm, and I allow him to lead me back to the palace. Man. World duties. The council meeting goes on longer than expected. By the time the counselors are finally excused and it is just Father and I in the room, I am exhausted. I fall back in my seat with a soundless sigh. Father smiles at me from his seat. Exhausting, isn't it? Yeah, I don't like meetings. I nod. It is no wonder you are always so tired. Yeah. The more meetings you attend, the easier it will become to participate in them. Are you sure? Father eyes the empty thrones in the room with a fond smile on his face. It is times like this that I am most grateful for family. I look at him, curious. He simply inclines his head. It is always easier to shoulder your burdens if you have loved ones there to pick you up. Yeah. Before, I shunned others and refused to let them be a part of the family. I did not think I ever needed to depend on anyone. Now I realize that depending on others is not a weakness, but a strength. I allow myself to lean on my family and on Fritz. Yeah. I hope Fritz feels comfortable doing the same with me. Yeah. Hana? No. I look up at my father. How are things going between you and Lord Fitzgerald? They are fine. Why do you ask? Well, perhaps it is not my place to ask, but have you spoken with him recently about what he plans to do after his retirement paperwork is complete? Right. Fritz hasn't mentioned anything to me, but I do not want Father to worry needlessly about our relationship. He has spoken about it some. Kinda. Oh, I am glad. He seemed at a loss when I spoke to him the other day. Oh, strange. I wonder why Fritz brought this up to Father and not to me. I have no doubt you'll help him figure something out. Maybe he's just, again, feeling a little insecure to not really know what he wants to do. I stand abruptly. If I may, Father, do you mind if I excuse myself for a couple of hours? Yeah. I have another meeting later, and I would like to enjoy my break while I still can. Yeah, of course. Thank you for your hard work, Hana. Yeah. Father offers a cordial nod as I leave the throne room. Where is Fitzgerald? No sooner have I walked out of the corridor than a person steps in front of me, effectively blocking my path. Hello, good afternoon, Hana. Yes. Ugh. I stumble back in surprise. Fritz smiles apologetically. So quiet. Sorry, I thought I'd wait out here for you. Where were you even hiding? Yeah, hiding? I wasn't hiding. I was just standing right outside the door. How did I miss him? Again, he's still quiet. Fritz's eyes glimmer as he leans toward me. Are you free now? Well, for a few hours. I am assuming you want to go somewhere? I always want to go somewhere with you, Hana. But yes, if you have the time, I'd like to take you out to town today. There's something I'd like you to see. Okay, then by all means, please lead on. Fritz takes my hand and begins to lead me down the corridor. Okay. Little date, little lunch break. As we approach the gates, I recall what Father said in the throne room and paused, considering. He said that Fritz discussed something about the future with him, something he has not yet told me. Is there a reason he does not want to say anything to me? Hana, is something on your mind? I knew this was gonna be a choice. Like, we can either ask him about it or we can just let it go. And like, I don't know, like when he feels comfortable, he'll tell us. Ask him about the future, dismiss Fritz's worries. Well, I don't want to dismiss it. That means like, it sounds like I don't want to, I don't care. But I don't want to patronize him either. Like, if he's uncomfortable with sharing, then like, you know, I don't mind waiting until he is comfortable to tell. Let's be honest. We said we would be honest with each other, right? Okay, let's just ask him. My father brought up something interesting earlier. Yeah, interesting. He said you spoke to him about the future, that you were at a loss for what to do after you retire. Retirement. I would like to retire at his age. 23 and already retiring. I don't know, does he get a pension too? That'd be great. Like, I'm trying to be like him. Much to my surprise, I can see a sliver of irritation in Fritz's expression. Oh, is that true, Fritz? You know you are more than welcome to speak to me about anything. I come to you with my own concerns about being queen all the time. Yeah. Don't take offense, Hannah, but I don't really want to talk about it right now, okay? Fritz, it's a bit of a disheartening topic and I'd rather discuss it later. Yeah, I get him though. Like, it's like asking like, oh, what do you want to do what do you want to work when you get out of school? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And you're just like, girl, I don't know where I see myself tomorrow. Like, can we just not think about it? I get it. But I also don't, again, I just don't want to dismiss his worries completely. Like I don't care about him. He looks at me, his sadness melting into concern. Would that be alright with you? Yeah, of course, but please, Fritz, I want to help you. I hope you remember that. Yeah. Fritz nods at me. I know, and I appreciate your concern, Hana. We'll discuss it later, I promise. Okay. Maybe that might not have been the great choice, but like, again, I don't know, the wording was just a little weird. He squeezes my hand as we head out the gates and into town. Okay. Yeah, oh well. I've been doing well so far, I think, so I think it's okay. Fritz takes me to the edge of the main plaza, where a large crowd is already gathered. I nod my head politely at the townsfolk who meet my gaze. What is happening here? Fritz smiles. Oh, you'll see. It's a surprise. Huh? He leads me to the front of the crowd. I direct my attention to the central object of attention, a large stand. Behind it stands a man I recognize. Oh, is it a puppet show? Yeah, it's Waltz. Hello, everyone. My name is Waltz, and today I'll be telling you all a story. I had no idea Waltz had a show planned for today. Waltz begins his show with the practiced ease of a longtime performer. Today he has puppets, and is sitting behind his stand and using them to act out a scene. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a little witch. The little witch had a best friend who happened to be a human girl. The story goes on with Waltz playing both the characters. It is a short about a witch who does magic for her friends every day. But then one day, magic disappears, and the little witch no longer has any magic with which to impress her friends. For some time, the little witch is ostracized. She feels alone and sad because she no longer possesses the thing she thought made her special. But at the end of the story, the little witch's friends return. Oh, the little witch's friends told her that even if she could no longer use magic, that didn't mean her magic was gone. She still had magic. One of the puppets points at the other. Magic that was in her heart. Yes, he smiles. And regardless of the magic that used to exist, we all have magic in our hearts. That is why, even today, the little witch and her friends can live happily ever after. Oh, so cute. I am surprised by the loud applause. The people liked the story? It is hard to believe after hearing what my captors said to me. They made it sound as if witches were being discriminated against. I turned to look at Fritz, who was applauding with everyone else. I thought you needed to see this. Oh, it's really cute. You're not the only one trying to pick up the pieces from 2 years ago, Hannah. You're not in this alone. Fritz, oh, he's so thoughtful. The applause dies away as some of the children rush forward to bombard Waltz with questions. Most people did not know Waltz was a witch until he publicly announced it 2 years ago. He did it hoping it would ease tensions between the humans and witches. Fritz leans over and grabs my hand. He pulls me away from the crowds and to the outskirts of the plaza. Once we are safely outside of the area, he turns to me again, one hand on his hip. I was in town earlier when I heard about Sir Waltz's show. I knew that I had to bring you here. Thank you, Fritz. Yeah. Even now, Fritz still thinks of me first. He is the most dedicated person I know. Eventually, the crowds begin to dissipate. Waltz, who is in the middle of taking down his stall, pauses when he notices Fritz and I. Hello, Princess, Sir Fitzgerald. He walks towards us with a bright smile. It is nice to see you again, Waltz. Waltz bows. And you too, Princess. Were you two here for the show? Fritz brought me here to see it. It was a good show with an interesting topic. Yeah, very relevant. I heard about the kidnapping. Yeah. Rumors spread fast in Angiel. I'm sorry, Princess. You do not need to apologize. Yeah, Waltz shakes his head. You're bearing a guilt you don't deserve. What happened 2 years ago was Lady Parfait's decision, not yours. Given the circumstances, it was the only thing that could be done. I know, exactly. All of us want to help where and when we can. Bridging the distance between humans and witches is the first step all of us can help with. I may not have my magic anymore, but that does not mean I've changed anyway. Yeah. No, Waltz is still unflaggingly optimistic. Unflaggingly. Both Waltz and Fritz are smiling at me. When my eyes catch Fritz's, he takes my hand in his and gives it a gentle squeeze. He turns to look at Waltz. It was a great show, Sir Waltz. I was happy to see it. And I was glad the both of you could be here to see it. You ought to come to town more often. We will both try our hardest to do that. Waltz flashes us one last smile before returning to his booth, and to the children crowded around it, it sounds as if they are asking him to play a game. I turn to Fritz. We still have some time left. Do you want to take a stroll around town, or perhaps you would like to rest? Some part of me just really wants to speak to Fritz about what I heard earlier. I need to know that he is okay. Fritz is quiet for a few moments as he considers. In the end, he asks if I would be okay accompanying to his home for some tea. Yeah, I nod my approval, and the two of us begin to make our way there. I sigh as Fritz sets the tray of tea down on the small table in front of us. It is at times like this, when we are sharing tea in your home, that I wonder if you really are an old man stuck in a young man's body. Hey, Hannah, I'm offended. It's okay. I'm chill to do this as well too, girl. Despite his words, he still smiles as he plops down on the cushions beside me. And here I thought the tea would make conversation more pleasant. Fritz glances at me after taking a sip of his tea. You wanted to talk, yes? Earlier I promised we would have this discussion. He looks at me somber. Oh, yeah. I actually was going to bring it up to you myself. I'm sorry I didn't mention it earlier. Oh, you don't need to apologize, Fritz. I was just worried. I was concerned. Maybe it would help to start at the beginning. Okay, beginning. Have I ever told you why I decided to become a knight? Your father, maybe? No, you haven't. You were not forced into it, were you? I cannot help but think of the traitorous Alcaster and of the enormous amount of pressure he always puts on Fritz. I would not be surprised if Fritz had felt there was no choice but to follow his father's footsteps. No, I wasn't. Fritz lowers his teacups and stares into it, his eyes filled with melancholy. Slowly, I slide toward him and lean my head on his shoulder. Oh, yay. Little CG, oh. Back when I was a child, there was nothing I loved more than listening to my father talk about the knights. Because he had such long days, I was usually stuck at home with the servants. They didn't interact with me much, so I was usually lonely up until the moment my father returned home with his sword in hand. When he came back, he would tell me stories over dinner. He used to tell me tales of knights in shining armor, of men who protected the kingdom with their lives. He told me about the noble counselors and of Angiel's honorable king. The picture he painted were filled with chivalry and heroism. For a few moments, Fritz is quiet, his eyes cloudy with memory. I loved him so much, and I was proud to be his son. That didn't change, even when we grew distant. I had always thought my father's dedication to putting the kingdom first was admirable. Later, when I decided I wanted to become a knight, my father trained me, even allowed me to use his own sword. The day he was made commander, we celebrated with this same tea. He draws away from me with a sigh. Suddenly, he looks stiff. Back then, everyone thought of me as his shadow. They said I had no individual aspirations, that I may as well have been a copy of my father. Oh damn. I think I proved them right when I followed my father's footsteps and joined the Knights. But he looks at me and smiles gently. I never let the cynicism get to me. When I learned that I was to become the princess's own personal knight, I didn't mind being compared to my father. All of my priorities shifted to you. I saw the way you closed people off, the way you were compared to your mother, and I... he sighs as he picks up his tea. I understood because my whole life I too had been compared to my father. Yeah, he would have understood. But you never lived in your father's shadow. You have always been your own person, Fritz. Maybe, but either way, the fact remains that for all those years, the only thing I believed myself capable of was being your knight. I was happy to focus on my duties because I had nothing outside of them. Fritz's shoulders sag. The truth is, Hannah, I'm terrified of what comes next. I am nothing without my sword and armor. Those people were right. I aspired to be like my father, and even when he was gone, I took up his mantle as commander without complaint. I followed his footsteps exactly, and now that I had to give up my responsibilities, I have only you. Oh, this is what I've been wanting for years, but... He sinks even further into the cushions, his gaze forlorn. Now that I'm no longer your personal knight, I have nothing to offer you, Hannah. No, his voice is small and weak. I love you so much, but I am not good enough for you. I have no plans for my future, nothing else that I can be beside your knight. What am I without my title? But hey, I don't know, it doesn't matter though. I love you for who you are. My whole life I have been trying to live up to others' expectations. First my father's, then the king's, and now yours. And I have never been good enough. I set my tea down so that I can look into his eyes. Fritz, that's not true. There is more to you than your past. You have the entire future ahead of you. You can be yourself without anyone ruling over your life. Right? Fritz looks at me. The expression on his face is so gloomy it makes my heart sink. Yes, and that terrifies me, because who even am I, Hannah? Oh, he's having an existential crisis. Oh man. When I do not answer immediately, Fritz leans forward and grabs my hands. Do you know who I really am, Hannah? Do you know what sort of person I am beneath all of these expectations? I am a selfish fool. Fritz, I have known you for a long time, a longer time than most people. I squeeze his hands and look at him confidently, unperturbed. No matter what side of yourself you show me, and no matter what you decide to do with your life, I will always support you, right? You could be a stall person, I don't know, selling wares in the markets, I don't care. Like, I will still love you the same. I will always love you, yes. Whitney Houston, I will always love you. For a long moment, the two of us just stare at each other. Fritz's expression is carefully blank, as if to conceal his emotions. May I ask you a question then? You have to promise me to answer truthfully, okay? Damn, I promise. He hesitates, but only for a few seconds. Do you ever love Varg? Did you ever love Varg? What? The minute Fritz mentions the name, the present falls away from me. Well, can't make something from nothing. Some part of your precious Fritz became me, princess. Yeah. There was already something dark and twisted in his soul. The curse just brought it to life, and now here I am. I guess his emotions about you are too strong. It's rubbed off on me, and now I'm stuck caring about you too. Yeah, stupid. We both know who you'll choose when the time comes. But you are Varg, though, no? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just like that. Back then, I did not want Varg to exist, because if he did, he would drive away Fritz. The small, dark part of Fritz would overwhelm everything else that he was. That is what scared me most about Varg. Hannah? I only ever loved you. I loved him. From her expression, from what her thoughts was, is that she was only scared of Varg. You know what I mean? But she ultimately recognized that Varg was the darker parts of Fritz. But she just didn't want those darker parts to like to overtake who Fritz really was. You know, in essence, he is still like a nice, kind person who, cares for people, right? I only ever loved you. Varg was a part of you that was twisted by the fairy tale curse. All of his emotions stemmed from you, right? So even though I was thankful for some of the things Varg did, I could never have loved him. That is why I was so scared when Mithros said that Varg had the potential to take over your mind. I was scared I would lose you. Varg was only ever a fragment of who you were, a part of you that was brought to life by a curse you couldn't even control. What if he hadn't been? Fritz pulls away with a sigh. What if I told you that on the inside, a lot of Varg's selfish actions were my own? Would you believe me? Fritz always acted like Varg was a separate person that he was fighting, but was there more to it than that? Actually, forget I said anything, princess. I do not even have time enough to reconsider my words before Fritz abruptly stands and turns to face me. I apologize for going off on a tangent. What? I get the impression that the tangent has yet to be adequately explored. Anyway, with that, you know a little bit more about my worries. I didn't plan on saying anything to you until I had come up with a more concrete plan, but... A concrete plan? Yes, a concrete plan for the future. I want to find something else I can be passionate about. Because outside of who and what I've been for the past so many years, I haven't had a lot of time to explore much else about myself. Fritz was always so busy with his duties, he has never prioritized his own hobbies. Come to think of it, what does Fritz do in his spare time? Good question. Could we not come up with a plan together? Right? Together? Yeah, yes, perhaps you should come up with a list, and we can check off items on the list when we are able to do them. I cannot help but smile at Fritz's confusion. You can list things you want to do or see, or things that you like. Then whenever I have the time, I can help you do or see those things. You have more free time on your hands, don't you? If that is the case, then we can both find a new future for you together. Right? In the deepest part of my heart, I cannot help but imagine Fritz sitting beside me on a throne. Yet I am realistic enough to know that this transition would not be easy. It takes two people to make that kind of momentous decision. Besides, Fritz is finally being given the chance to live the way he wants to. I do not want to take that freedom away by forcing him to yet another role. Yeah, let him live his carefree life of being retired and just go off doing whatever he wants to do. Go on a cruise. Who cares? Perhaps if we spend more time together, that sort of future will become a reality one day. What do you think? Fritz smiles at me. After a few moments, he holds out his hand. I put my hand in his and smile when he kisses the back of it. I accept your offer, beautiful Hana. Thank you. Really? I should have made the choice of saying that I loved Varg. He leaned more, or he what's it called? He relates and he sees himself more as Varg than he does as Fritz. Really? I don't know. That was confusing. It is my pleasure. Oh, but before any of that, I point at his tea and raise my eyebrows. Finish your tea, Lord Fitzgerald, otherwise it will get cold. Yeah, I can't waste good tea. You know just as well as I that it's been cold for a while now, but if Her Royal Highness commands it, then I shall obey. He plops back down on the couch and scoots closer to me, close enough to wrap an arm around my waist. I spend the remainder of my free time at Fritz's side, wondering if there is anything I can do to help him beyond the assistance I have already offered. Okay, well, is that it, really? Oh my god, that's it. That's chapter 3. Chapter 4 is Wolf. Wolf? Yes. Okay. Alright. Well, okay, this is getting a little dicey. Because I was doing so well with his choices. I was like, this, I can read him. I got this. And then now I'm just like, damn. 2 choices in a row. I missed out on. Okay, well, anyways, what's done is done. And that would be it. That would be it for chapter 3. So we'll continue on next time on chapter 4 and see where this kind of takes us. And also, I guess makes sense that this will be Fritz's main dilemma for the story. Is that he has a midlife crisis, an identity crisis. I mean, it also relates back to his actual curse too, where he had that split personality. So anyways, yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Please make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell on my channel for your next update on any of the videos I upload on my channel, because as I have to reiterate, I am on a semi-hiatus due to life stuff and like work schedules and things like that. So it's very hard for me to have free time to upload anything for you. So even if you ask me when's the next time I will upload anything at all, yeah, I can't really give you a short answer. It could be a week from now, 2 weeks from now. I try to keep it consistent, but you know, again, it's hard. I don't really know myself. So surest way is to be subscribed and having the notification bell on. Otherwise, I am active on the channel, so you are free to leave any comments on my videos and I will get back to them as best I can. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much once again for all your patience, and I'll see you next time on another Let's Play. But for now, bye!